Welcome back everyone. We've already crashed section A and got those 20 marks in the bag. Now things are getting a bit more visual. We are moving into section B, specifically question 2, which focuses on the major topic mitosis. Part 4, Analyzing Mitosis, question 2.1. Take a look at the diagram on your screen. This represents a specific phase of a cell division. Let's break it down piece by piece so you can handle any diagram they throw at you. Question 2.1.1. Identify parts B and C respectively. Okay? The answer is part B is the cell membrane. Part B is the cell membrane and part C is the chromosome. Why is that? Well, if you look at the pointer for B, it is touching the outer boundary of the cell. In an animal cell, that protective outer skin is your cell membrane. Then if you follow the line for C, it points to the dark thread-like structures inside the new nucleus, which are like the lines. Those are your chromosomes, which are super important because they carry all the genetic blueprints for the organism. Question 2.1.2. State one function of part A. The answer is it transports substances in the outer of the nucleus, or it surrounds the contents of the nucleus. The reason is that part A represents the nuclear membrane, which you can see as that dotted line forming around the genetic material. Think of it like a security fence. Its job is to protect the DNA by surrounding it, while also acting as a gatekeeper that controls exactly what molecules are allowed to enter or leave the nucleus. Question 2.1.3. Identify the above diagram and give a reason for your answer. The above diagram is telophase. The reason 2 daughter cells are present or the nucleus or nuclear membrane reforms. Okay? So how can we tell? Look closely at the shape of the cell. It's no longer just one round blob. It's stretching and starting to pinch into 2. Because we can see 2 distinct daughter cells beginning to take shape, we know we are at the end of mitosis. Also notice those dotted lines appearing again. That's the nuclear membrane reforming around the chromosomes at each end, which is the classic sign that the cell is finishing up the division process. So what the key for this structure is actually A, okay? The dotted lines that are forming around the chromosomes. That's the nuclear membrane that tells us that this is telophase, okay? So just to not confuse yourself, now I am thinking that one common mistake, if I were to look at that diagram, if you look at the diagram, that is not forming an X shape, right? The chromosomes don't form the X shape, and that's how they trick you, right, into thinking that this could be Interphase or any other part of mitosis. How do we know that that's a chromosome? Number one, our hint is the nuclear membrane that is reforming. That's the number one hint. Once you see the nuclear membrane reforming, that means it is telophase. And what happens at telophase? Okay, so let's go step by step, okay? So during Interphase, remember before telophase it's Interphase. So during Interphase, the sister chromatids, the chromosomes that separate that X shape, each one is called a chromatid, okay? So the sister chromatid separates when the centromere splits. So the centromere is the dot in the middle holding the two chromatids together, and we call those chromatids sister chromatids because they share the same DNA, okay? So when the centromere, that circle, splits, the sister chromatid separates during Interphase. This is happening during Interphase. So once the chromatid separates, each chromatid becomes an individual chromosome. So in that process, when the chromatids separate and become one, each chromatid becomes a chromosome once more. These chromosomes move to the opposite poles of the cell. So in Interphase we call them chromatids, and those chromatids, when they move to the opposite parts of the cell, they now become chromosomes. The separate during telophase, now once they reach the opposite sides of the pole, that's when telophase starts. So the separated chromatids are now called chromosomes in telophase. We call them chromosomes in telophase. Each new nucleus receives a complete set of chromosomes, okay? The chromosomes then start to uncoil into chromatids. So once more they become chromatin, okay? They uncoil to become chromatin. So it is important to remember that before separation they are sister chromatids. Before they separate, they are sister chromatids. After they separate, they now become chromosomes once more. So in telophase, we say chromosomes, not chromatids, because they are no longer attached together. Okay? So I hope everyone is understanding what I'm trying to say. You see, when you look at that structure and they ask you about C, I think it was C, and they ask you C, that is a chromosome because it is the telophase stage. So when you look at the diagram, you kind of have to name which phase it is before you even answer the question. You have to realize what phase it is, and we realize what phase it is by the nuclear membrane forming once more around the chromosomes, and by the part where the circle now is pinching itself, which means it's separating into two cells. Okay, so we are seeing all that change. So that is telophase, and in telophase we call them chromosomes, not chromatids. So don't be confused by that one line, because it's now not an X. You might say it's a chromatid, but it's actually a chromosome because it's in telophase. I hope that makes sense. So I just wanted to make that clear so we don't repeat a mistake similar to that, which is very common. Okay, so now we are moving into 2.1.4. Yes, 2.1.4. How many chromosomes were present at the beginning of the cell division? So at the beginning of the cell division, how many chromosomes were present? The answer is 2. Okay, so why is it 2? Here is a quick trick. Count the chromosomes in just one of the new daughter cells. Okay, you see 2 individual chromosomes there, right? Because mitosis is a process that creates identical copies, the daughter cells must have the exact name. The daughter cells must have the exact same number of chromosomes as the original parent cell. So if there are 2 now, there must have been 2 at the start. Okay, so if you look at your cell once more, if you look at the new daughter cell, one of them, okay, let's look at the one with the A, B, C, not the other one, the one this side. If you look at that one, you see that it has 2 chromosomes. Remember, C is chromosomes. So if you count the C, there's 1 and 2 structures of C, okay? And those are 2 chromosomes. So if the daughter cell has 2 chromosomes, it means the parent cell has had 2 chromosomes too, because remember, the daughter cell is a copy of the parent cell. It's a photocopy, okay? 2.1.5 writes down one visible feature in the diagram that shows the phase of mitosis is taking place in an animal cell. So write down one feature that tells us that this process is happening in an animal cell. The answer is there is a cleavage furrow indicating the division of the cytoplasm, or there is no cell plate, okay? So you can give one answer that there is a cleavage furrow indicating the division of the cytoplasm, or you can just say there is no cell plate. The reason we know this is an animal cell is because of that pinching effect in the middle. The inward dent is called a cleavage furrow, okay? Plant cells have a rigid cell wall, so they can't pinch like the animal cell. Instead, they have to build a hard cell plate right down the middle. Since we see the furrow and no cell plates, it's a dead giveaway that this is an animal cell. Okay. Question 2.1.6. Explain the significance of DNA replication during interphase. Okay. The answer is it doubles the genetic material to ensure that there are 2 copies of genetic material to be shared between the 2 resulting daughter cells. This is so important because before a cell can split into 2, it has to make sure each new cell gets a full set of instructions. Imagine trying to build 2 identical Lego sets, but you only have one manual. You need to photocopy that manual first by doubling the DNA during interphase. The cell makes sure there are 2 complete copies, so that when division happens, each daughter cell walks away with everything it needs to function. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so interphase is the beginning of the mitosis phase, where the DNA replication, where the DNA is copied into 2 parts. Okay, so it doubles the genetic material to ensure there are 2 copies of genetic material to be shared between the 2. Great job sticking with me. We just finished the mitosis diagram, but question 2 isn't over yet. Now we are moving into question 2.2, which is all about enzymes and how they react to the environment. Okay, so I will post the following video after this one. I'm trying to separate all the papers so it's easier for you to find which question is which. But I'm only doing this for this March paper because it's very short, and just so you have better access to revision material. Anyways, thank you so much for watching the video until now. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. And for those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This will help the channel to help other learners find it easily, and it also helps me as Miss A to be monetized quickly. So please subscribe, please comment if you have any questions, and please like the video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.